everyone. Today you are going to learn how to glaze a pot. So this is an example of a pot that has been glazed. It's nice and shiny and pretty. This one actually had crystals in it, so that's why you see all these awesome little things that kind of exploded during the kiln firing. So I'm going to go over some of the rules for you on how to glaze your own project. So the first thing you're going to do is come to this side of the room and you'll see this cupboard here. Inside this cupboard, I have a whole bunch of glazes and they're organized according to color. So if I take this over here, you can see that they're supposed to be color coordinated according to the piece of paper that's under them. But they don't always stay in the right spot, so you're going to have to do your own looking and making sure. So what you're going to have to do is come over here and choose your color. But one thing you're going to have to remember is don't believe the color you see through the bottle. So this actually looks like it's going to be like a pink color. But if I read it, it actually says dark blue. So don't believe any of these colors. So this says opalescent, all right? Don't believe what you see, believe what you read, all right? Now, when I say opalescent, or another one over here says plum jelly, all right? You're not gonna understand what those colors are. So if you come right here, you're gonna see that I have a whole bunch of examples already made for you. So for instance, this one says buttercup, right? So buttercup is going to look like this. So you actually have to read, this is poppy fields, okay? Who would know that this is going to be poppy fields, all right? Dark green, that's easy. So some of them are gonna be easy, but if you don't know what it's gonna turn out to be, then make sure you go and look at some of these examples. The glaze doesn't actually turn to the color that it's going to be at the end until it reaches a really, really hot temperature, and only then will it turn to the color that it's supposed to be. So some of the other things that you should remember are less is more, right? So when you are choosing some colors for your bowl or your, I don't know, whatever it is you're doing, your monster or your clay tile, remember less is more. So on this bowl, it was just glazed one color, all right? Now, sometimes people want to put a whole bunch of colors on there, which is fine, but for a beginner glazer, you're gonna wanna keep it simple. Let me tell you some reasons why. So this person has a really good bowl, but if you look closely, they ruined it because of the glazing. So do you see how sloppy it is? Inside of here, everything's very sloppy. They forgot corners. They didn't do the edges nicely. So it kind of ruined it a little bit. So you have to be careful to see how this overlaps. That probably was very much camouflaged, and they probably couldn't see that very well when they were glazing it. So I'm suggesting that you do less is more. Maybe do one color, and then you can do one color as an accent somewhere, just nice and small, but basically one overall color will do. Now, what you have to keep in mind is do not glaze the bottom, because this glaze, when it gets really hot, turns into this almost like glass material. And so if you put glaze on the bottom and then we stick it on the kiln shelf, it's going to attach to the kiln shelf. So you're not going to want to do that. So do not glaze the bottom. Here's another example of a pot that could have been really nice, but they ruined it with the glazing. Again, they were quick and fast. It's really sloppy on their edges. I'm not sure they paid attention to their color choices. They didn't finish some areas. And when they were doing it, they probably didn't realize that they should take it and look at it from different angles. They probably just sat in front of it and painted it and didn't realize that if you take it from other angles, you can see that a lot of it wasn't finished, all right? So make sure you choose great colors and colors that go well with each other, and try to keep it simple. You need to make sure you have 3 layers of glaze. If you don't, it's going to be see-through. See how this is really see-through and it's all splotchy? It's not supposed to be that way. You need to do 3 layers for it to get nice and thick like this one, okay? So don't glaze the bottom, and 3 layers. If you're going to do a transparent color, which you just want your pot to look basically white, the transparent looks like it's pink, but it's not. It's actually see-through, and it's just a beautiful, pretty, shiny color at the end. The transparent's the only one you only have to do 1 layer of. 1 nice layer, and you're done. You don't have to do 3 layers like on the other ones. What else? Oh, these glazes are made from chemicals, different types of chemicals put together. They're not the normal paint that you're used to using with acrylic paint. So you guys are going to have to be very careful because these chemicals can be changed and it can create a new color. So if you have your paintbrush in one and you don't want to wash it off and you just put it in another container of glaze, you're going to mix the chemical makeup of that color, so it will no longer be that color. So you have to be very careful to wash your paintbrushes off before you stick it into another one. Now this right here, I would say is between $20 and $30 for just this little container. So you have to be really careful. And also, if you change the chemical makeup of this one and someone thinks they're going to get Buttercup and you change it, then you don't know what they're going to get. So please do not put a dirty paintbrush into any of these. All right, you have to make sure they're clean. Now you can layer these. So I can put a first layer of Buttercup, and then on top of that, wait for it to dry, and on top of that, put another layer of another glaze. That's fine. You can layer your glazes. Just don't accidentally get one color of glaze into another container of glaze. All right. I think that's pretty much it. You guys will set up a workstation. So you'll put down paper. You'll get yourself a jar of water, some paintbrushes. You'll come over here. You'll pick your glazes. What you want to do is really, really, really shake it up because all of the color has come down here and all the liquid is up here. So you're going to either want to shake it or mix it with the other end of your paintbrush for it to give you a nice thick layer. You want it thick. You don't want that watered down top part, so you want to mix it together. So you will mix up your glazes, put down your workstation, get your paintbrushes, your jar of water, make sure you have 3 coats on there, and then clean up. That's it. All right. Thank you.